one woman's standards are another woman's bare minimum. And so that's why raising your standards is the number one way to filter out energy vampires and men who are not worthy of your time, energy, love, and attention. And body, baby. Okay? So many men out here are dating women just so that they can have access to her body. And you have to protect your body. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect your beautiful sacred heart. Okay? Because we know that a woman who's loved correctly wants to just overflow and pour her energy into everyone around you. Okay? So you have to protect your energy. And that means taking it slow. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sync and Flow, the podcast, with me, your host, Josie Thorne. If this is your first time listening, welcome to the show. If you're a regular listener, thank you so much for supporting this podcast with your time and energy. Make sure to give it a rating and a review. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all of those things. And if you enjoy this podcast, make sure to share it with your group chat, because girl, I have some juice for you today. We are getting back into one of the most loved segments of this podcast called Date Like a Goddess, baby. And today we are getting into part 3 of this segment. Part 1 and 2 has already been out for a while, so if you haven't listened to that yet, make sure to go check it out. Those are episode 37 and 38, all about self-worth, receiving, being in your feminine energy, and then also about becoming the black cat and making him obsessed, okay? So today we get into part 3 of Date Like a Goddess, and today's episode is all about protecting your energy, baby. This is so important, especially if you are a sensitive, emotional, spiritual girly like I am, which I most probably think you are if you are listening to this podcast and are drawn to my energy. Because babe, when you are a sensitive girly, the world will do you harm. The world will want to take your energy. The world will want the shiny object that you are, because you are a rare diamond and you need to look after your energy, especially when it comes to dating and relating with men, okay? Because bless their little cotton socks, a lot of men are unknowingly energy vampires, especially when it comes to women, because we have something that they can never have. We hold the crown jewels. We have a womb. We have a uterus. We have the portal to life living in our bodies. We have innate access to feminine energy. Men have to cultivate and work really hard to connect within their own being to feminine energy. It doesn't come naturally to them, but obviously it comes much more naturally to us. And so when you are a powerful woman embodied in her feminine energy, oozing confidence and radiance and pleasure, when you embody your pleasure and you dress to express, you are empowered in your self-confidence, in your being, in your feminine essence. You are a shiny, rare diamond, baby. And you have to protect your energy, knowing that you are a shiny, rare gift to this world. You have to protect your energy, because people will come for your energy. People will unknowingly be attracted to you, not because they want to be in a reciprocal give and take, equal, balanced relationship with you, but because they want what you have for themselves. This is what is called to be an energy vampire. And unfortunately, a lot of people in this world are operating within this frequency. It's a very low frequency. It's a frequency of a person who has not learned to cultivate and access their power on their own. And that is why they want to be with you. That is why they want to be in your energy. They want to be your friend. They want to take from you, okay? And so this is why it's super important to be connected to yourself and grounded in your own energy so that you're not people pleasing and you have the capacity to discern who wants to be in a genuine, equal, reciprocative relationship with me, to give and take, to pour and overflow into each other, to build each other up, to water each other's plants and help each other bloom, and who wants to just take from me, pluck my fruits without even a thank you, without even watering, without nourishing me back in any other way. A lot of people will try to harvest your energy, and this is just a fact. A lot of men that you will date will try to harvest your energy for themselves because they don't know how to cultivate this energy on their own. They have no capacity. They have no understanding of how to empower themselves because they have been disconnected from the feminine their entire life. And it all comes back to this, okay? Men are constantly seeking the love, touch, and comfort of the feminine, which goes back to the fact that they did not receive enough love, touch, and comfort from their mothers. And so they grew up in a deficit with the feminine, just like we did. We all did. Growing up in a patriarchal world means that we all grew up in deficit when it comes to the feminine, okay? And so because of that, this means that we are all seeking the loving touch, guidance, and wisdom of the feminine. And that is why the world is like it is, because we take from the feminine. We don't know how to be in relationship with the feminine. We take from the earth. We take resources as if the earth and the land belongs to us. But it doesn't. It doesn't belong to anyone but the divine. And so men will see you like this in dating. And this is all subconscious. This isn't something that they are consciously aware of. And this is why I geek out on the cross sections of spirituality, dating, relating, subconscious programming, anthropology, all of these things. They all intersect because a deficit, an issue in one sector of life is going to create an imbalance and deficit in other aspects of life. So it's really important that you are aware of this, because if you're not, you will get taken advantage of by men and the people that you date. Okay, it's really important that you know this. If you do not protect your energy, you will get taken advantage of. You will have your energy stolen. You will have your energy tried to be commodified, tried to be put in a box and sold. Okay? And you do not want to be selling your soul to the people that you are dating and relating with. But unfortunately, it happens a lot more often than we would like to admit, than I would like to admit. Especially if you're a hypersensitive girly who tends to have an anxious attachment style, like me. And when you have an anxious attachment style, this means that you grew up with inconsistent love from mom and dad. Love was inconsistent. And so anytime that you did find safety in love, you learned to attach too deeply, to hold on too tightly, because that is a survival mechanism and a coping mechanism of a child that got inconsistent love, where love was sometimes available and sometimes not. And you never understood or never could figure out or figure and understand the patterns of what made that love inconsistent. And that's why inconsistency is called inconsistency, because there's no pattern to it. And so the anxious attachment develops as a survival mechanism to inconsistent love. And when you grow up with inconsistent love, any form of love, when you become a teenager and an adult, is better than nothing. You would rather be breadcrumbed, taken advantage of, and date an energy vampire than be alone. Because there's nothing more terrifying to someone with an anxious attachment style than being alone. Because then your biggest fear, which is I am not worthy of love, becomes true. And so you would rather choose inconsistent, unhealthy, toxic love than you would to be alone. Because when you are a goddess and you have high standards, you end up saying no more often than you say yes. Because 99% of men and people are not worthy of dating you, a goddess, are not worthy and cannot match your standards. You know, one woman's standards are another woman's bare minimum. And so that's why raising your standards is the number one way to filter out energy vampires and men who are not worthy of your time, energy, love, and attention. And body, baby. Okay? So many men out here are dating women just so that they can have access to her body. And you have to protect your body. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect your beautiful sacred heart. Okay? Because we know that a woman who's loved correctly wants to just overflow and pour her energy into everyone around you. Okay, so you have to protect your energy, and that means taking it slow. Okay, I know I am guilty of rushing into relationships, of rushing to sleep with someone, of rushing to get into bed with someone. I know that, and that is Josie of the past, who was rushing to prove to herself that she was worthy of love. And I hold so much compassion for that version of myself, because where that pattern comes from is pain and trauma and sadness and rejection. And so I have no regrets, but I learn from my lessons and I learn from my mistakes. Okay, there's no mistakes, just lessons. And so now I know I will not rush into relationships anymore. I will not rush dating anymore. I will not rush to become intimate with someone, no matter how desperate I am, no matter how badly I want to have skin to skin contact, no matter how horny I am, no matter how much I desire closeness and affection. Because in the end, the only person that loses is you, okay? And then you end up actually taking on someone else's energy that you actually didn't want to take on, because only a month later do you start to realize, hey, actually this person isn't for me. Actually, hey, I see some red flag. Actually, hey, that's kind of toxic behavior. And this is why taking it slow is so important, because in the beginning, of course, everyone is presenting their best side. Of course, everyone is green flags all the way. Right? And so that's why you have to give it time. Do not give that man too much access to you too quickly, okay? Because he could just be breadcrumbing you, giving you what you want, telling you what you want to hear. And as soon as you allow him access to your body, to your sex, to your sacred temple, to your yoni, that's when then he can start to actually show you who he actually is. Because the whole time he is in his hunter mindset. This primal survival mindset of I've got to hunt her. And the prize at the end of the hunt is you, baby girl. It's your body. It's your feminine energy. It's your womb, okay? And so many men out here are dating women with a consumerist mindset. Not for commitment, but to consume you, okay? I heard this nuance on a video last night, and it is so powerful to realize a lot of people are just going to want to use your energy for their own purpose, for their own self-gratification, for their own validation, okay? Men and women have sex for many different reasons. For women, sometimes it's about validation, sometimes it's about feeling good, sometimes it's about pleasure, sometimes it's for fun. You know, we approach sex with many different reasons. Sometimes it's about connection, love, intimacy, holding, comfort, okay? But for men, majority of the time, it's about validation and it's about his orgasm and feeling good. And sometimes men just be wanting to have sex with you to prove to themselves, to validate to themselves that they are worthy of a woman's love, that they are worthy of whatever you offer, which I can promise you is 100 times more than he can offer. Men be chasing after women as a form of self-validation because they're so empty inside. Okay? And this is facts. Majority of men that I see out there are empty. They have no connection to God. They have no connection to their bodies. They have no connection to brotherhood. They have no connection to something greater than themselves, to something greater than just getting ahead and being on the 9-to-5 hamster wheel and making money and climbing that corporate ladder. So many men are stuck in this. And this is why women are literally the future. I mean, we always have been and we always will be because we hold the fucking portal between our legs. But right now, in 2025, I see women thriving, living their best lives, becoming so confident and so self-aware and healing all their trauma and going to therapy and hiring coaches and doing the most. And I see men, straight men doing the fucking least. Okay? They are really doing the least. They're not in therapy. They're not reading self-help books. They're not journaling. They're not meditating. They're not going to yoga. And if they are, like, they're a very small percentage of the population, okay? And if I'm generalizing and that offends you, so fucking what, babe? Like, I'm generalizing here because majority of men are very lost, very confused, and are walking around with way too big egos. Like, way too big, okay? And that's why you should give men the opportunity to be humbled whenever the fuck you can, okay? Whenever you have the opportunity to humble a man, please take it, okay? Please take it. Because men need to be humbled. They need to have their egos broken down so that they can reconnect with their humanity, so that they can reconnect with their empathy, so that they can reconnect with their soul, the truth of their soul, okay? I keep on seeing these really funny memes on Instagram about men taking psychedelics and like mushrooms and having realizations that like a girl had at the age of like 15 and he's like 35. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always were a little bit emotionally stunted, but like I feel like now more than ever before, like, God bless, there are a lot of men out there that are trying and working on themselves and going to therapy and, you know, doing doing the mindfulness healing thing. There are a lot of men out there, but there are also a lot of men that are just numbing themselves, that are so consumed with the external world and making money and finding a girlfriend and getting laid and partying and drinking and taking substances with their friends on the weekend because that's their version of a good time, right? Like, there's so many men out there like this, and these are the kind of men that want to hunt you, that want to prey on your beautiful energy, that want to prey on your empathy and your compassion and your open heart and your receptive womb, okay? It's all subconscious though. A man will never admit to this consciously, okay? He never will. But the light and love that you hold inside your womb temple and your heart, they are attracted to that, okay? Like bees to a flower, like flies to shit, or should I say sugar, whatever, you know? And this is true. Like every time I am on a dance floor, because y'all know your girl loves to rave and loves to go hard and pop her pussy just like that and twerk it up anywhere and everywhere she can. Anytime I'm on a dance floor, I be generating a fuckload of energy through my womb, okay? And this energy is magnetic. And I just wait like 10 minutes and suddenly I'm surrounded by men. Suddenly there are men squishing me, coming at me from all sides because they cannot help it. Their bodies are magnetically, energetically attracted to our bodies, okay? It's like a magnet, the positive attracted to the negative. They cannot help it. They will eventually find each other. And breaking apart that magnetic energy can take a lot of energy as well. And that's why you have to protect your energy before you get attached to a man that is not worth your time, that is not worth your energy, okay? Because this is the thing, we give them too many chances. We give them too many breaks. We're too kind. We're too nice. We really fucking are. And that's when you get taken advantage of, okay? We really live in a world where if you don't protect yourself, you will get fucked over, okay? You really got to. And that's why being a black cat is about having super high standards and making him work for you, making him prove to you why he deserves to be in your life, why he deserves to be your boyfriend or your partner. You gotta wait. You gotta wait and see. Because in the beginning, everyone is there. And then over time, slowly you start to filter out the ones that are not serious, the ones that just want to fuck you and then ghost you and move on to the next, okay? Then you also get to filter out like maybe those that do want commitment, but what are their red flags versus green flags, right? And so that's why you have to slow down in the way that you date. I'm specifically speaking to my anxious attached girlies right now. Please, you have to take it 10 times slower than you usually do, okay? Instead of sleeping with him on the 3rd date, sleep with him on the 6th date. And that doesn't mean 6 dates in 2 weeks. No, that means 1 date per week for 6 weeks. It should actually be longer. Like, you know, I would wait to around 6 weeks to even 2 months to sleep with him, because that gives you enough time to actually get to know each other, to get to suss out his green flags versus red flags. Because in the beginning, everyone is a green flag. And then only over time and through contextual situations do you get to see his red flags. Do they start to come to the surface? How does he react? How does he handle certain situations? How does he react to you and your emotions? Can he hold your emotions? Can he validate your emotions? Or is he emotionally retarded and stunted like 99% of men out there? I'm sorry, not sorry, it's facts. So many men out there be emotionally retarded and have the emotional capacity of like a 5-year-old, you know? Like really, you have to be so discerning and give him time to show you who he actually is below the surface. Because you, and again I'll say this, are a rare diamond. And when you are a rare diamond, you are valuable to everyone. And it's easy to see that you are a rare diamond. That's why so many people want you. That's why you get so much attention. You are a beautiful, sexy, sensual, loving, creative, gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Of course he wants you. Who doesn't want you? Everyone wants you, babe. Everyone. And so you need to be more picky with who you allow access to you. And that means taking it 10 times slower in dating and allowing him to prove to you. Going on many different kinds of dates. Go on an adventure date. Go on a dinner date. Go on many dinner dates. Go on a activity date like bowling or mini golf or whatever. Go for many at-home dates. Make him cook for you. See how he is. Ask him about his family. Ask him about his relationship with his mother. Ask him about his relationship with his sisters, okay? I have always noticed that men who have sisters, who grew up with sisters, are much more understanding of the feminine than men who grew up with brothers only, or who grew up as only children. Men who grew up with sisters understand and have more compassion, empathy, and connection with the feminine than men who didn't. So I don't recommend dating men who don't have sisters unless they've done like a fuckload of work on themselves, okay? So yeah, ask him questions, okay? Ask him about his life. Ask him about his previous relationships. Okay, it's not like he's also always going to be honest with you about why they ended or what exactly happened. I mean, depending on, his own integrity within himself. And this is another thing. You only get to know someone's integrity and their levels of honesty and connection to themselves through experience, through practice, through contextual moment-to-moment experiences, okay? And that's why it's so important for you to almost like interview this man. Like, why do you think you should date me? Give me 20 billion reasons why I should consider you for a second date. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to make him work for it, okay? And if he doesn't want to work for it, next, kick to the curb. Next, like men think that they want it easy. They think that they want a super chill, nice, easygoing girl, aka a golden retriever girl. But no, they don't. They really actually want a woman who's a black cat, a woman who's gonna make him work for it, okay? Because men thrive on dopamine and testosterone. These are the two main hormones that men self-regulate through, okay? Testosterone is the hormone that drives them forward, and dopamine is the hormone that we get from completing tasks, okay? And so men are driven by testosterone and dopamine, and that means that they are driven by challenges. They bond through challenge. Vasopressin is also another male bonding hormone, and vasopressin is released in men. That vasopressin helps men fall in love and bond with women, and vasopressin is only released when he overcomes a challenge, when he overcomes a struggle. Okay? And so that's why this whole be his peace is fucking bullshit. Because actually men like difficult women. Men enjoy difficult women way more than they enjoy the easygoing be his peace kind of girly. Okay? And I know this. I have been a difficult woman my entire life. My ex was with me for 5 years, okay? And even the current people that I'm dating, the current man that I'm dating, like, I've been fucking difficult with him. And he still loves me. And he still wants to be with me, okay? Men love a challenge. Men love difficult women. Because when they get over that challenge and they conquer that challenge, the hormones that get released, they feel so good about themselves. They feel so fulfilled. They feel so like, yes, I can do it. And that's why we have to understand the primal ways in which our brains work, okay? And that's why dating for men is like a hunt. Okay, they have this primal hunter instinct towards dating and towards women, okay? And baby girl, you don't want to be the prey. You do not want to be the prey. Like, maybe you do in a sexy role play kind of way, but you don't want to be the prey, because the prey is usually naive and weak and soft and gets eaten by the lion. You want to be the lioness. But actually, I just realized that the lionesses are the ones that do the hunting. So many animal families out there are actually matriarchal. I'm definitely going to do another podcast episode on what is matriarchal studies. What does matriarchy even mean? Because a lot of people think it's just the opposite of patriarchy, when actually it's not at all. But anyway, you don't want to be the prey. You want to be the observer of the entire situation. You can pretend to be the prey, but have the mindset of the hunter. And this is why one of my favorite dating coaches, Anna Christina, who kind of invented the whole black cat golden retriever theory, she always says, think like a man, act like a lady, okay? Because you need to know how he thinks. You need to know how he perceives you. You need to know his underlying motives and reasons for why he's pursuing you. You need to know that. And you need to find those out through asking him questions. Not directly, but indirectly. Okay? Subvertly. Figuring out what are his intentions. And that's why you need to wait a while, because over time, all intentions will be revealed. And if you sleep with him too quickly, you end up glossing over those intentions. You end up completely forgetting about his intentions because you haven't given him time to prove to you what his intentions are outside of sex. And when you have sex with someone, you end up bonding to them at a chemical level, okay? All of these sex hormones, oxytocin, feel good, serotonin, all of these bonding hormones get released because us women, we bond through sex. Men don't bond through sex. Sex for men is like a walk in the park, It's like, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a run. Let's play some cards. Let's have a cup of tea. Let's have some sex. It's just another thing for them to do. It's just another thing for them to enjoy and get pleasure out of, But men don't put the same emphasis and energy and weight on sex like we do as women, okay? Women bond through sex. Men bond through challenge and struggle and overcoming those challenges and struggles together as a team. Men bond through teamwork, okay? Whereas us as women, we bond on an emotional level through sex and through connection and through having someone hold space for us and be there for us and protect us and provide for us, right? So we bond on an emotional level. And so that's why when we bond through sex and we have sex too quickly, it can flood our brains with all of these feel-good hormones that make us naive and a little bit stupid as to who this man is. Because now after we've had sex with them, we're just like, oh, he's so amazing and he made me feel so good and the sex was so amazing. That must mean that we have such a good connection and the chemistry is so good and he makes me feel so seen and he makes me come so many times and he just touches my body so good. Yay, I'm happy for you, baby girl. He made you feel good, okay? But like, now he needs to do it again and again and again and again. And this is the thing. Just because he makes you feel good one time doesn't mean that he has the capacity or the skills to make you feel good again and again and again and again. And maybe it's make you feel good without sex involved. How can he handle your emotional storms and emotional chaos? How can he handle when things aren't so good? How does he respond to stress? How does he respond to you when he's busy at work? Okay, when he's going through a busy, stressful period, how does he respond to you? How does he treat you? Does he still have time and energy for you? Does he still make you feel good? Does he just rush through connection, spend the whole time on his phone, checking his emails every 5 seconds, like taking business calls in the middle of a date, like making you feel second best to his work and to his other responsibilities? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because once he has you, that's when he stops performing. And that's when he lets his guard down. And that's when his true colors get shown. Because once he has you, that's when the true red flags are going to start to be revealed. Because he thinks that once he has you, or once he slept with you, or once you've agreed to be exclusive with him, or, like once you've been seeing him for a while, he's like, oh, now I've got her. Now I've hunted her. Now I have her all to myself. So I don't need to put in any more effort. I don't need to plan dates. I don't need to pretend to be some amazing nice guy, Because now she's attached to me and now she probably won't leave me, you know? Okay, that is the thing. Is like a lot of men will start to let their guards down once you guys have slept together, because he knows that you bond through sex. And he knows that now he's got you. And now his true colors start to show. And he's like, oh, I don't need to cook for her. She can cook. I don't need to plan the date. She can plan it. I don't need to do this, you know? And all of these things, it's not conscious. It's subconscious. Once he gets you, he gets lazy, is what I'm trying to say. And so that's why you need to wait and give him more time to prove himself to you. To prove why you should continue to see him, to prove why you should allow him into your bed, why you should allow him to meet your family, why you should allow him into your innermost circle, okay? To be in your inner circle is a privilege. It is a blessing, because people in your innermost circle, they thrive because you pour love and energy and empowerment and confidence into everyone in your close-knit circle. And you make sure that the people in your life thrive through the way in which you love them. Your love is sacred and holy, and it is a gift, and that gift should not be given freely. Because when gifts are given freely, they're not valued anymore. And this is the fact. This is the fact. When people are given things for free, they do not value them as much as if they had to pay for them. And this is a fact. Money adds value. You add value. Making him work for it adds value to you. And I wish someone had told me this years ago. I really, really wish. And so this entire Date Like a Goddess segment on this podcast is kind of just a love letter to my younger self, to my past versions of self, to remind her of her worth, to remind her that she doesn't need to chase love, that she doesn't need to beg for love, that she doesn't need to beg for the bare minimum, that she doesn't need to beg again and again for her needs to be met, because her needs being met is the bare fucking minimum. And you deserve so much more than the bare minimum, babe. You deserve so much more, especially knowing that the journey you've been on has been hell. You've been to hell and back, and now you're walking your way to heaven. And on your journey, you deserve to meet like-minded men who are conscious and grounded and anchored in their hearts, not their lust. Fuck men that lust over you. Fuck that shit. I used to think it was hot. I used to think it was sexy. I used to think it was enjoyable, okay? I liked the chase. I liked it when men lusted over me and flirted with me, and I felt like men wanted me. It doesn't mean shit. Because you know why he's doing it? For his own validation. Not for you. Not because he thinks you're beautiful or he wants to connect with you. He's doing it for his own validation. And this is why men who lust are not safe men. Because men who lust are thinking with their cocks, not with their hearts. And yes, it's possible for a man to lust for you and then still want commitment from you. That is possible. But you have to make sure that he is wanting to commit to you and not just consume you, okay? Because men need the feminine to manifest. Men get more ahead when they are in relationship than when they are single. I made my ex rich as fuck, okay? That man was a loser when I met him. And by the time we broke up 5 years later, he was rich. He was a director of a company. He ran his own department in said company. He had multiple stocks, multiple shares, multiple investment portfolios. That man was rich and wealthy and empowered and confident. When I met him, he was a fucking loser with no confidence and no self-worth. And this is a fact. This is how women transform men. Men get so much out of being with conscious, empowered, sexy, hot women. But what do we get out of it? I'm still trying to figure it out. And that's why we need to make them work for it, okay? No more accepting breadcrumbs. No more accepting the bare minimum. You need to make him work for it and prove to you why he should have access to you, why he should have your energy, your connection, your heart, your love. Make him work for it and be ruthless with hiring and firing, okay? Be ruthless, be savage, be unapologetic, because there is nothing more valuable than your energy, period. There is nothing more valuable. Your energy is the most valuable thing in this world. And the wrong man will take your energy, deplete you, drain you, fuck you over, and leave you. And unfortunately, this is the truth. So you have to protect yourself. You have to be strong. You have to be independent. You have to be discerning. You have to be resourceful. And you have to be very careful who you let into your life, who you let close to you, okay? Keep him at an arm's length. Keep him at a distance. And very slowly you can allow him closer and closer to you. But make him work for it. Make him prove to you why he should be allowed closer. Why he should be allowed intimate, direct access, okay? Set him tasks, set him goals to achieve, okay? Have a list even and tick off on the list once he's proven to you he's trustworthy. Once he's proven to you he's reliable. Once he's proven to you he's safe. Once he's proven to you that he's emotionally mature. Once he's proven to you that he has a healthy relationship to his mother, to his sisters, to the feminine in general. Once he proves to you that he's kind, compassionate, and caring, okay? Make him prove that to you. Don't just assume just because, oh, he's a nice guy. Oh, he paid for my dinner. Oh, he was nice to the waitress. Like, no, that's the bare minimum, babe. Of course, every man should be paying for your dinner date. Every man should be nice to the waitress. Every man should be nice and kind and caring and gentle. Every man should be like that. This is why, like, we have gotten so used to men being so pathetic because we all grew up with really pathetic, weak fathers who were not empowered in their masculine, who were not strong men, who were not providers and good husbands to our mothers. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but like my mom was the mom and the dad. She did fucking everything. And my dad just coasted on by. He just sat through it and let her do everything and be the breadwinner and serve all his needs and get everything together and birth the kids and have the stable job and bring in the money and go shopping and cook and he just coasted through life. And that's fucking pathetic. And that's fucking weak. We all grew up with strong, independent women as mothers who are our fucking role models. At least I speak for myself here. My mom is my role model, but the men in this world did not grow up. And that was a survival mechanism. Like, my mom is my role model because she had to become one because of survival mechanism. But men in this world, they didn't have as much pressure in this world to become who they needed to be because there wasn't that pressure from the society like it was on women and marginalized people. So they just got to coast through life because we live in a man's world. And so life is easy for men living in a man's world. Life is easy for men living in a patriarchy on the surface. Below the surface, they're all just as damaged as we are, trust me. But they don't even realize that that's the most fucked up thing. Most men don't realize how badly they need therapy. They don't realize how fucked up and damaged they are. They don't even know until you get into a relationship with them and start pointing it out to them. And only then maybe will they start to realize. Only then will they maybe be like, I'm 35 and I've never been to therapy. Like, okay, is that abnormal? And you're like, yes, babe, that is abnormal. I went to therapy for the first time at age fucking 9. Like, hello. Really, it's a sad state, the dating in this world right now. It really is. So give men the opportunity to prove to you why they deserve you. Give men the opportunity to prove to you. And if they are healthy men, and if they are empowered in their masculine energy, and they are truly healthy and loving and grounded and connected and emotionally mature, then they will always understand. Then they will actually appreciate you making them wait. Then they will actually appreciate you making them work for it, okay? This is the thing. True, healthy, masculine men will deeply appreciate you making them work hard for that access to you, for those keys to your temple. Don't just give him the keys straight away. Make him work hard for it. And he will love you, value you, respect you more than ever. I promise you. Okay? Because what matters for men more is respect. What matters for women more is love. Okay? Our communication is based on love. For men, it's around respect. And so you want and need a man to respect you. And the longer you wait, the longer you make him wait to have access to you and to sleep with you, the more he will respect you. Because the harder he's had to work, the longer time he's had to wait. And if he's patient, he will value you so much more. Because remember, what I said is freely given is not valued as much as what is had to be worked for. So I'm going to end this episode here. I hope this episode has been enlightening and has given you the confidence to be more of a bitch, to be more protective of your energy. And when I say protective of your energy, I don't mean closed-hearted or mean-spirited. I just mean to have more boundaries, okay? Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Because there's a lot of men out there that will try to negotiate your boundaries with you, that will try to, not use condoms, or try to get you to split the date 50-50, or try to get you to say yes when you said no the first time. There's so many sneaky ways that they will try to manipulate you into getting what they want, which is your energy, which is your womb, which is your sex, which is your access to your deepest heart, right? And so you need to have fucking strong boundaries, and you need to know those boundaries, and you need to repeat those boundaries to yourself all the fucking time. And if you start dating someone new, you need to make sure that you are honoring your boundaries and you speak those boundaries out to him. Because again, when you tell him your boundaries directly, he will respect you. And if he doesn't respect those boundaries and he tries to negotiate with you or play 50-50 with you, fuck that shit. He's not respecting your boundaries. He's not honoring your needs, right? Your boundaries are your needs, and you need to communicate those from the very beginning. Okay, because if you don't, he is going to try to play games with you. He is going to try to get you to negotiate your boundaries, to compromise your boundaries. And once you've compromised your boundaries, that's it, babe. Like, who else knows what you're willing to compromise? Who else knows how he's going to take advantage of you? Who else knows what else he's going to try and make you compromise on? Okay? And you should never compromise your boundaries, because your boundaries keep you safe, okay? Your boundaries help you not betray yourself. Your boundaries help you not give your energy and your sex and your heart away to men who do not deserve it, okay? So boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Protect your energy. Make him work for it. Make him work hard, and be discerning, okay? Keep your cards close to your chest. Play your cards like a game of poker. Have a good poker face. Ask him questions that help him reveal his true motives, his true intentions, that help him reveal his hand, okay? His cards, while you are still keeping yours close to your chest. And only once he's proven to you through actions, should I say? Actions, actions, not just words, because all men love to talk. I can do this and I can do that, and I love to do this, and I'd love to take you there, and we can do this, and la la la, and then you can meet my mom and my family, and then we'll go to this and go on holiday there, blah, 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 bullshit. Men love to talk. But when it comes down to it, it's all about actions. Actions speak louder than words. Remember that. And so he needs to prove his worth and his value and his intentions and his purity of heart to you through actions, not just words. Okay? Got it? Good. Now, if you haven't listened to episodes 1 and 2, episodes 37 and 38 of Date Like a Goddess, part 1 and 2, go listen to those now. Okay? They are super juicy and will help you to become the black cat, become a little bit more selfish in your dating. And this is what it's all about. You have to be selfish, and that's why protecting your energy is selfish in a good way. Okay, babe? You're allowed to be selfish in a good way. So go listen to those episodes. And if you love this episode, send me a DM on Instagram. All of my links are below. Let me know if you want a part 4. What would you like a part 4 on? And make sure to rate and review this podcast on Apple or Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode, as well as I will next year 2026 be releasing a Date Like a Goddess program, a course. So if you are interested in that, send me a DM and I will add you to the wait list for that program, which will be released maybe even around Valentine's Day. That's exciting. Okay, so there we can go deep into how you're going to embody your Date Like a Goddess energy, so you will not get fucked over and actually thrive and can actually find your husband, because that's what I'm dating for. I don't know about y'all, but I'm dating to find my husband. I'm not dating to fuck around. I've done that, been there, done that. I've had my hoe era. It was great while it lasted. But now I'm dating to find my baby daddy and my husband and my soulmate. Okay, so anyone else can just get the fuck out my way. And that's how you're going to find your husband, is by weeding out all of the man-childs. Okay, see you on the next one. Mwah.